and S mode, it tops out at 20 miles per hour. This video is a review of the KOWOEE E8 Pro Electric Scooter. I'm going to unbox, assemble, go over the controls and settings, test the acceleration and max speed, brake, suspension, and hill capabilities, and review the e-scooter. The E8 Pro has a 500 watt peak rear hub motor with a max speed of 20 miles per hour or 32 kilometers per hour, thumb throttle, 36 volt 7.8 amp hour battery with a range of up to 20 miles or 32 kilometers, front drum and rear EABS brakes, rear suspension, 8.5-inch rubber tires, headlight and taillight. Additional specs to be found in the description section below. This is the box that it came in. This was everything inside the box. I'm resting it on a piece of foam because the kickstand is not installed yet and it keeps tipping over. There is a bag zip tied, and let's see what's inside. Here we have an Allen key with a bunch of screws. This is the kickstand and it goes right here. Here's the instruction manual, the directions on how to install the kickstand and to attach the handlebar. And then we have the charger. First thing I'm gonna do is install the kickstand. I'm gonna take 2 screws, put them in here. Now I can fold this down and take the foam off. Next, I'll pull the stem up. This locks into place. Looking up here, I'm going to feed this cable back through the tube, and then we'll put the handlebar in. And then we'll take 6 screws, 2 on the left, 2 on the right, and 2 on the back. We'll take our Allen key tool and finish tightening them. Now that the handlebar is assembled, I can show you how to fold it back up. There's a tab on this lever that we can pull up. Then we'll pull this forward. Then this goes down. There's a spring mechanism here, and we'll pull it far enough to clear this hook. Then we'll release it on the hook, and we can lift the entire scooter. Let's take a look at the handlebar. We have the left grip, the front drum brake lever, a horn. There is a bell. On the display, it has a sticker that says, "Please use the app to activate the vehicle. For more information, please read the instruction manual." Here is the power button, the thumb throttle, and the other grip. I'll show you the features without installing the app. I'll just set this aside for now, and then we'll install the app in a second. In order to turn it on, we'll press and hold the power button. And then the screen lights up. We can see the current speed in miles per hour. This is the current mode that it's in. The headlight is on, Bluetooth is flashing, and then this is the power bar. There's 4 bars. I think each one represents 20%, so we're at 80%. If we press the power button once, we can switch to the pedestrian mode, the eco mode, the D mode, and then back to the S mode. If we press the power button twice, it turns the headlight off. If we press it twice again, it turns it back on. If we press it 3 times, it goes 2 kilometers. If we press it 3 times again, it goes back 2 miles per hour. If we press the power button 4 times, the cruise control is activated, and you have to hold the throttle for 9 seconds, and then it'll hold that speed steadily, and then you can use the brake lever to get out of it. I'm going to turn it off for now. And then if we press it 5 times, nothing happens. If we press it 6 times, nothing happens. I'm going to use my phone to scan the QR code, and it brings us to this Tuya Ride website. We'll download the app, we'll open the app. Tuya Ride would like to send you notifications. I'm going to not allow it. I'll agree to the user policy. I'll need to sign up for an account. I sign up for an account. Now it's asking to use Bluetooth. I'll turn it back on. I'll add a vehicle. It found the E8 Pro. I heard a beep. It was added successfully. Let's take a look at the app starting from the top left. We can switch the devices. I only have one. Here's some settings. We can rename the device. Here's the device information. You can share the device, create a group, facts and feedback, add to home screen, device update. There's no updates at the moment. We can remove the device. This is the battery level. It's at 78% with 0.1 miles. The battery information is normal. We're in gear 3. We can switch to walk gear 1, gear 2, and gear 3. We can turn the headlight on and off. More functions, device info, riding mode. We can switch from miles to kilometers. We can turn cruise control on. And then the start mode. With non-enabled, we have to kick off around 4 miles per hour. And then we can use the throttle. I'm going to enable 0 start so I can use the throttle immediately. Loss mode. You can report and enable loss mode. Device diagnostic. You can start a test. It's been about a minute and nothing's happening, so I'm going to get out of this. Now I see that the test was completed and 0 problems were found. You can also lock the device. Currently the device is locked, and on the screen it says LO. I'll unlock it. Now we can see the status again. You can also record the ride, but I disabled the location. There's also tabs for ranking, social, mail, and me. Let's go back home. It seems like the app is not required. The only reason you would use the app is if you wanted to record the GPS location, if you wanted to lock it with the remote, or if you wanted to enable 0 start. Now that we have 0 start enabled, I can test the max speeds in each gear stationary without having to kick the scooter more than 4 miles per hour. I have the rear supported by a piece of foam. In the walk mode, it tops out at 3 miles per hour. In Eco, it tops out at 9 miles per hour. In the D mode, it tops out at 15 miles per hour. And S mode, it tops out at 20 miles per hour. I'll show you the cruise control. I have cruise control enabled. I'll just try it in Eco mode. I'll hold this for 9 seconds. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and when I let go of the throttle, it's still holding that speed. I can disable it by pressing either the throttle or I can press the brake lever. And in order to turn it off, we'll press and hold the power button. The charging port is right here. We'll lift this flap, we'll plug the charger in, and then we'll take the other end and plug it into an outlet. There's an LED indicator on the brick. It'll be red if it's charging, and when it's fully charged, it'll turn green. Here's the charger model number and information in case you're interested. If you ever lose your charger and need to get a replacement. The model is CP4215. The input voltage is 100 to 240 volts, 50 to 60 hertz at 3 amps. Output is 42 volts at 1.5 amps. We're going to test the acceleration and max speed in each of the gears, starting with the walk mode. It's a bit difficult to see, so I'm just going to say what the current speed is. We're hitting 3 miles per hour, and that's the max that we're going to get. Now we're in the eco mode. 7, 8, 9, and we're maxing out at 9 miles per hour. We're in the D mode. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 miles per hour. S mode. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and I felt the motor back off a little. 20 miles per hour is the max that we're going to get. Next, we're going to test the brakes by hitting the max speed and slamming on the brakes to see how soon it will stop. 18, 19, 20. I'm going to slam the brakes at this first cone. And we stopped right after the second cone. Each one of these cones is 12 feet, so this is about 16 feet. Looking at the brakes, we have a brake lever in the front, and this controls the drum brake in the front. There is an adjustment knob so you can put more tension in the line so that it bites sooner. With drum brakes, they're more weather sealed, but it is more challenging to replace the brake pads if you ever do need to replace them. And then in the back, I don't see any brake line. I just assume it's an electronic ABS brake. So when you press the brake lever, it slows down the motor. In terms of suspension, there's no shock in the front, but there is 2 shocks in the rear. There are threads back here so that you can make them stiffer or softer. Because the tires are solid honeycombs, they do not leak air and are puncture resistant, but they tend to be a little on the stiffer side. When I'm riding the scooter on bumpy roads, the scooter is very stiff and I can feel it in my knees. The shocks do help, and I'm thinking about making these even softer to absorb more of the impact. Let's test the scooter on this dirt road. The suspension is able to take it. It's not the most comfortable. Moving on to gravel. Quite uncomfortable, but it does work. And moving on to paved surfaces, it's quite smooth. We're going to test the scooter on hills. This is a slight incline. I'll just read out the speed on the speedometer. It says 13 miles per hour. As the hill is increasing, it's still holding that 13. Let's go up a steeper hill. Getting 15 miles an hour. As the hill is increasing, it's still holding 14, 13. It's going down to 12, 11, and at the stop sign, we were getting 11 miles per hour. Let's see if it can start on a hill. We're getting 5 miles an hour, 6. It's holding 6. It's going to 7, 8. It's holding 8. Going to 7. Going back to 8. As the slope is decreasing, we're getting 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. This hill is not as steep as the last. Going through the intersection, we're holding 15, 16 miles per hour. And as we're approaching the hill, it's still holding 15. Now it's going down to 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, as we approach the stop sign. I'm going to scoot around and give you my thoughts. What I like about the E8 Pro is that it has a 500 watt motor that can hit a max speed of 20 miles per hour. There's 4 different modes. So there's the pedestrian mode, the eco mode, the D mode, and the S mode. Each limits your max speed, so if you want to give the scooter to someone who's a newer rider, you can do that so they're not able to go as fast. It has dual suspension in the rear that is adjustable. There are threads to it, and quite frankly, it is required because the 8.5-inch honeycomb tires are solid and they are quite bumpy going over any kind of surface. The scooter is also folding so that you can collapse it and carry it upstairs or on the train or bus, and it doesn't weigh that much. There is a headlight, there is a tail light, and it also has an app so you can adjust all of the settings that we talked about earlier. In terms of braking, it has a front drum brake and it works well. The rear motor also has EABS braking. That's another way it slows down. The kickboard is quite large, so I can fit about 1.5 feet on it. In terms of suggestions or dislikes, I personally prefer air-filled tires because I feel like they ride a lot smoother, but they are also prone to punctures. These are solid, so they are puncture resistant. That's just one of the trade-offs. There's no adjustability for the display. In bright sunlight, it is quite hard to make out what's on the display, but sometimes you just set it to whatever mode you want to be in, like sport mode, and just use the throttle without looking at it. I'm not sure what this piece is on the end of the display, but it looks like it's double-sided taped on, and it is a little bit wobbly. I might need to put some more double-sided tape to hold that down. That's just something very minor. When you go up hills, the speed does drop quite a bit. It would have been nice if they put a larger motor in here, but I guess it's reflected in the price. Because the front are drum brakes, it requires more effort to replace the pads. There's no mechanical braking in the rear. It would have been great if they had mechanical brakes in the front and rear. But other than that, this scooter works. It's lightweight. So if you guys are in the market for an electric scooter, you can check this one out. A link to the latest pricing is in the comment section below. Since you guys made it this far into the video, please drop a comment on what brought you to this video. Please like this video if you found it helpful. Feel free to leave questions or comments in the comment section below. And if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys for watching and take care.